Imagine pulling a tray of warm cookies out of the oven, and before you even take a bite, you already feel lighter, calmer, and just overall better. That little mood shift isn't just because they look cute or delicious. Your brain is literally firing off the feel good hormones the moment that you start baking. Baking isn't just about the treats, it taps into the same part of the brain that spark pleasure, focus, and comfort. Since all of you know how chaotic life gets, understanding why such a simple activity feels so soothing can actually help you appreciate your own stress relief habits a little bit more. I've been baking for a few years, running my own small baking business, and I've experienced this mood boost myself countless times, and researching the science behind it helped me understand exactly what's happening in my brain whenever I'm mixing, measuring, or waiting for something to rise. Today, I'll explain how baking triggers dopamine, how it reduces stress, lowering cortisol, and how the sensory and mindful nature of baking helps the brain feel calm and accomplished. Let's start with the brain chemical most people associate with feeling good, dopamine. Baking triggers a release of dopamine, the brain's pleasure and motivation chemical. According to Harvard Health Publishing, simple pleasurable activities, including cookies baking, can actually activate a dopamine rush. This means that before you even eat the baked goods, the process itself primes the brain to feel happy and rewarded. Dopamine also boosts motivation, which helps explain why many people feel energized or excited to keep on baking. It creates a positive feedback loop. The more satisfying baking feels, the more your brain wants to repeat it. The act of planning, organizing ingredients, and completing steps can activate dopamine because it's linked to goal-oriented behavior. Now that we've looked at how baking boosts pleasure and motivation, let's talk about how it can also lower stress. Baking can reduce stress by lowering cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. According to Northern Healthcare, baking has been found to relieve stress, and studies on creative activities show a direct connection to reduce cortisol levels. This positions baking not just as a hobby, but also as an evidence-based stress relief activity. The repetitive motions in baking, such as stirring or kneading, can actually physically slow the body's stress response. When stress hormones decrease, people often feel calmer, more grounded, and a little more focused. The structured nature of baking gives the brain something predictable to follow, which reduces anxiety by providing a sense of control. Beyond the brain chemicals, baking also works its magic through the sensory aspect itself. Baking provides a sensory-rich, mindful experience that promotes calm and a sense of accomplishment. Psychologist Ankita Gucci wrote in Psychology Today that the rhythm of stirring or the smell of vanilla all keeps you in the moment. Mindfulness naturally quiets stress pathways and brings the brain into a much more calmer state. The sensory elements like the smell, texture, warmth, and taste activates parts of the brain linked to comfort and memory. This helps explain why baking can feel nostalgic or emotionally soothing. Completing a baking project, even something small, gives the brain a sense of achievement, which enhances your mood. Now that we've explained all the ways baking affects the brain, let's kind of wrap everything up. So, we learned that baking triggers dopamine, lowers stress by reducing cortisol, and also creates a mindful, sensory-rich experience that boosts relaxation and emotional well-being. So next time you find yourself mixing batter or smelling cookies in the warm oven, remember it's not just your sweet tooth celebrating, it's your brain throwing a little thank you, one happy chemical at a time.